Alright, so this time we've got the Magician, number 1 of the Major Arcana. It's always so fun getting you started with these. It's a picture of a guy standing behind a table holding a candle. It's burning on both ends. He's got an infinity symbol over his head, and he has all of the tools on the table there with him. He's got the pentagram, the cup, the sword, and a wand. He's wearing a robe, and he's got some roses around the outside of the borders with the doves in the roses at the bottom. Yes, those are doves.
I'm trying to see the doves. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, I think they're doves. They might just be some other kind of plant, flower. I'm not sure.
So you notice he's got all the symbols of the minor arcana there.
I do notice that, and it speaks to me of him being like willing to play with all of the tools.
He's got all the elements at his disposal. And like a real magician, he is not creating something out of nothing. He is using what is already there to make a new reality.
Yeah, I see that. I totally see that. I get the impression, though, that he doesn't necessarily know what he's doing. Like, he has no concept of limitation. And that's why you've got the infinity symbol over his head, right? All things are open to him. But how to get there? Which tool for which thing? You know?
I sort of see him as being in the process of mastery.
Yeah.
Definitely not at the end of the road, but he's figuring things out and understanding the different things in life that come into play. He's master not only of his emotions, for example, but he's making his own conscious choices, which we see with the wand, and he's analyzing things and intellectually with the sword, and it's just, we'll get more into that with the minor arcana when we start talking about.
Yeah, and again, I don't see him as a master of these things, but he's learning all of them at the same time, right? He's not focused on the material or the intellectual or the spiritual or what have you. He's gathered them all together to work with all of them at the same time. Maybe later on he'll differentiate, but for now, everything is open. And that's kind of the way I see it.
Okay, so how would you apply him in a reading?
In a reading, he would be one of the early stages of whatever is going on in that person's life. Again, with the infinity and with all of the elements there, you have all of the tools available to you that you need for whatever you're going to be pursuing, right? It's a starting point, I would think. From here, everything else happens, right? You've already stepped off the cliff, as we saw with the Fool.
Right.
And now you're walking the path, trying to get to where you're going next. And that's how I would see it in a reading. How would you see it in a reading?
Well, it would depend on where he was at in a spread or what he was being asked about, but I sort of see it as a whole. Look at the big picture and don't feel like you're confined necessarily to the traditional roads. He's a learn by doing kind of guy and a learn by experiencing kind of guy. So that's the sort of thought you want to keep in mind when he shows up.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Definitely learn by doing and learn by experiencing. Oh, you're gonna go with the reversal again?
It's only fair. Some people read them.
Yeah, and again, I don't. I mean, if I were doing a reversal, and if he came up reversed, I would probably say that he's the aspect of having everything open to you is inhibiting you. You have too many choices, too many options. You still need to experience by doing. You still need to go through that whole process, but the fact that there's so much open to you is overwhelming.
You could be overwhelmed or out of balance in how you're approaching something. Be careful not to let ego take take the reins too much, but remember that you're still mastering and not the master yet.
Yeah, that's very important. I'm always, there's some aspects of the cards that I'm always excited to try and learn about and to try and see, and right now I'm having trouble with the meaning behind the candle burning at both ends on this particular card on this particular day. If I were in the middle of a reading, it may be relevant, it may not, but usually when we think about the candle burning at both ends, which he's got upraised in front of him, we think about working too hard, right? And maybe even in the upright, it's kind of a warning to not work too hard at this, but to let intuition and your gut take over some of the process. Or it could be, bring those two pieces of your personality together. Let your intellect and your intuition work together, just the same way that the four elements are going to be working together for you.
Right. I like to look at it as a sort of symbol of using your all, of following something you're passionate about.
Yeah.
On your path. So that's another thing.
Excellent. Awesome.